Hola amigos, bien o no, y saludos desde Inglaterra. Hoy el tema es para recuerdos muy importante y útil para tener una, por lo mínimo, una muy buena historia que usted pueda contar con otra gente. Ese es el tema de hoy. Hello again from England. So the theme of the day is remembering that it's quite useful to have an interesting story that you can recount in these kind of social situations. I remembered this today because I've just been meeting up with some old friends of mine who I haven't seen for some time, and obviously one of the things we do is reminisce about, or do you remember when, these kind of stories. Now this is great because obviously, we're remembering the same event and it's like, oh, do you remember that? Or no, I don't, and this kind of thing. But it reminds me that one thing that is helpful for us when we're learning our new language, as well as being able to say, who you are, what you do, where you're from, these kind of questions that you're going to get asked, is to, in some ways, think about what's your favourite story that you normally tell, that gives some colour to who you are, some, really good experience you had that was an interesting story, something funny that happened, kind of thing you retell again and again with your friends, because, oh, do you remember this? Something that helps to illustrate something about who you are, because this is something that will be helpful if you think about it before you have to improvise that story, particularly if we're doing that in the other language. That's not to say you need to memorize it as a script, but it's an idea to think about, like, how would you describe that special event, that particular story you would normally share? How would you describe that in the new language? Even if you just think of it generally, what basically happened? How do I say that? Because if you can have that kind of anecdote ready to go, in the sense that you have most of the vocabulary there, roughly the sequence of how you would tell the story, because it's the one you tell all the time, right? It's going to lead you into much more natural conversations, because you're going to be telling stories just like your new friends will be telling you stories about things they did. So it's a nice thing for you to be able to share. But because it becomes a more complicated story, something that you will have to explain in detail, probably trying to bring in some context of other people that your new friends won't know. Think about how you might do that. Because then when you're in that situation, socially, with your new friends in the new country, and you're trying to explain it, it's going to be easier if you've thought about, okay, well, what bits of this am I missing? What bits is it difficult for me to explain? What words do I need? So have a think about that, because I know for sure somewhere within your general social conversation that you have one of those, that big story you like to tell, because, oh yeah, this is a really interesting, exciting thing that happened to me because I met this person, or I did this thing, we visited this place, it was really unusual, whatever. There's that happy anecdote you always retell when you meet new people, when you've got to know them, because it's a nice way to share something personal about you that they can relate to, and it helps explain who you are. So remember, as well as just doing the standard, yes, I'm from here and I do this and that's why I'm here, and these kind of questions, don't be shy. Think about your favorite anecdote. How would you do it? Don't make it too complicated, but think about it. How would you do that in the new language? How do you want to explain that? Because these kind of stories, in the end, are a nice way for us making contact with our new friends we're going to make in the new country. So that's the challenge for the day. Improve your storytelling skills in some way, because then you make better contact with your new group of friends. So give that a go. Déjame saber en los comentarios, como siempre. But for now, we'll say cheerio.